So this is Pacific Village Phase 2. It is an expansion of Phase 1. It will provide stable housing, access to treatment and coordinated care here on this campus. It will help those that are seeking reprieve from homelessness or unhousing situations to come and have a place to get treatment on a coordinated campus.
This is a powerful investment here. It's going to bring dignified spaces, and it's going to feel like a home. It's not just something, you're a pop-up tent that they're living there. It's going to feel like a home. It's going to make them feel warm and make them hopefully want to transform their lives and get back to integrating into society.
Pacific Village reflects the shared commitment for our local, state, and federal partners in making sure that this funding was a reality. In this project, I want to give a lot of special thanks to San Bernardino County because of their commitment to investing in people and building a community where no one is left behind.
This represents 32 substance use disorder beds, 32 recuperative care beds, as well as 70 permanent supportive housing units. This will provide opportunity for treatment for so many, as well as those who are suffering with medical or behavioral health issues.
It isn't just one type of housing. It's permanent supportive housing, it's recuperative care, it's emergency shelter, it's also an integrated substance use treatment, all for our unhoused population.
The strategic placement of these facilities within this larger campus creates a unique, integrated model that supports substance use treatment interventions among San Bernardino County Medi-Cal eligible residents, prioritizing pregnant women, the unhoused, and other high-risk population.
We are not just building infrastructure, we're also building a continuum of care on this campus, which will consist of comprehensive, robust services that we will provide to our residents of this county.
By working with our county partners and continuum of care to meet housing-related metrics, IHP secured $3.5 million to help fund the Pacific Village project.
Increasing access to care in our communities, it's central to the mission of the Community Care Expansion Program. Our awardees are meeting our target populations where they are in their communities, where they have their support systems, their families, and where they know the communities the best. We're proud to be part of this project and the story as you move this project forward.
Pacific Village Phase 2 integrates the overlapping interests of no less than 3 departments, 3 to 5 or more decision makers, and their respective leadership teams. With the collaboration, we have been able to find the right balance between privacy and community, safety without solitude, and delivering first-class healing services.
This is a perfect example of how a community comes together, taps into several different resources. Every one of you here today, I know, has a part in this because you are standing here collectively as a community. And when you come as a community, we make community better for all.
This project is designed not only to provide safe and stable housing, but also to offer critical services. Homelessness is not just a housing crisis. It's a crisis that affects people's health and their families and their ability to thrive. Pacific Village will provide a permanent solution, moving people off the streets and into homes with resources that they need to succeed. By integrating housing and services, Pacific Village follows a proven model that empowers individuals and families to rebuild their lives and achieve long-term stability.
CERT is a community emergency response team, and it's one of our volunteer programs that we have here with the county. The CERT program is overseen by the Office of Emergency Services in partnership and support with our county volunteers and cities and towns.
Rialto Unified School District Teen CERT program, we incorporate it into the curriculum.
They learn how to do emergency medical training, first aid, how to shut off natural gas, how to shut off electricity, how to do firefighting for small fires, how to secure a scene, and help others.
We train all the surrounding cities because not all CERT programs have the classes year-round. So they go wherever. We've got Rancho, we've got people from Chino, Claremont that come out, take the classes.
If there's a team in, say, Wrightwood, and their hazard is dealing with wildfires, we build exercises to train that team so when that actually occurs in real life, they're ready to respond accordingly, as well as us being ready to work with them to make sure that we're keeping the community safe.
Right now we were doing all the CTE classes, which is basically the hands-on, the law enforcement classes, the medical classes, and we are also now enrolling it into the ROTC. And we're collaborating now with the county and bringing them on, which is just gonna, fortify our training. It's gonna give us more resources and more trainers, and it's just gonna build a stronger foundation for us.
As we are building up our teams, we want to keep our team engaged because thankfully we don't have disasters every day. So with that, we have exercises coming up, we have trainings, so that way you can practice the skills that you've learned in the basic trainings and some of the other trainings that we hold throughout the year. So we have a lot of fun, exciting things coming up planned for 2026, and we encourage everybody to be a volunteer and support the county.
Join not only for yourself, but also for your family.
The county has established Office of Homeless Services to try and create a collaborative response to homelessness. So the HOPE team was started about a decade ago, originally comprised with, I believe, 2 deputy sheriffs, and their primary function was to combat homelessness through stability through housing. And they were very successful in the beginning, but one of the things that we've noticed over the last several years is that a large number of the homeless community is either suffering from mental health illness or substance abuse, or suffering from both because they're trying to self-medicate.
I had been homeless for 10 years. I like to call it a 10-year camping trip, right? It wasn't fun. How did I get there? Drugs and alcohol. I had been able to control and enjoy them for many years, and I didn't realize that I was slowly spiraling down a tube. I didn't know what I know today about the disease of alcoholism and addiction.
When we initially met him, was kind of what society says would be like a stereotypical hobo, long hair, things like that, living on the river. Well, this gentleman was clean cut, and he came over and he said, "Hey, I don't know if you guys remember me." And we said, "Yeah, you're Kevin." And he apologized for not being real honest about his drug use and things like that. And he said, "But you guys told me to come back when I'm ready for help, and I'm here because I want help."
I always saw like the police were my enemy. They were against me, right? Because I want to do my drugs and I want to do my crime, and why don't they just leave me alone, right? So, that changed, that thinking changed, and Mike Jones and his team had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I think Kevin's story is one of thousands of stories that, the county through Office of Homeless Services and all the various programs that focus on homelessness, there's people every day that exit homelessness. And one is not giving up. And in Kevin's story, he didn't give up.
I have a decent life. I have a beautiful little 7-year-old daughter, and I'm a truck driver, and I'm a part-time DJ. I like that. I like music. I have a bunch of friends. I go to lots of meetings, right? That's my life today, is recovery and family, and I'm blessed for it. Thank you. The HOPE team especially, yes, thank you.
Once again, San Bernardino County has set the standard. This year, we proudly earned 257 Achievement Awards from the National Association of Counties, more than any other county in the U.S. for the third year running. Out of more than 3,000 counties nationwide, we're leading the way in innovation, efficiency, and service that inspires. Under the Board of Supervisors' leadership, we were honored this year for introducing children to STEAM learning, helping our residents stay informed and alert in a crisis, connecting local vendors with the county departments that need their services, empowering and educating the community about the challenges of premature birth, launching new initiatives to house our most vulnerable population, protecting the integrity of elections, enhancing pedestrian safety for students and parents walking to school, creating convenient opportunities to get married in a memorable location, and providing real-time status of emergency evacuations progress with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Evacuation Solution, a Best in Category award winner. And these are just a few highlights from the more than 250 awards recognizing the exceptional services that San Bernardino County delivers every day.
Well, ARMC's therapy dog program consists of dogs that have been certified to come and visit patients here at the hospital who may be feeling a little lonely, who may have been here long term. It's just a little visit to put a smile on their face.
You want to guess what she weighs? Close, 130. People do respond very well to dogs, especially in a situation like a hospital.
When people meet therapy dogs, right away, the tension just kind of melts away. It lowers their blood pressure.
This is Nova. She is basically a Cane Corso, Italian Mastiff. She belongs to an association called Pet Partners, which is the largest therapy dog organization in the country. She actually loves coming to the hospital and being with the people, and she seems to sense what people need her the most.
Oh yeah, you like your ears scratched, huh? It takes you away from, the present, gives you a little feeling of being home.
Going in and interacting with the patients' families, it helps them more than the actual patients most of the time.
You can't pet a therapy dog and not be in a good mood. This is Tula. Tula Louise. She's going to be 5 in June. She's been a therapy dog now going on 3 years. We had to first get our CGC, which is our Canine Good Citizen. We just 2 years ago joined first responder therapy dogs. Would you like to see the dogs? We try to be here on Mondays, and then she's here during the week on
Tuesdays and Fridays.
And then we have a third dog that's
Here
Sunday.
Friday afternoons and Sundays.
They're bringing a lot of joy, a lot of kindness to us. The patients love them. The staff absolutely adore them. They bring that stress level down. They're not just here for the patient, and they do a wonderful job at it.
My favorite part about bringing her here is seeing the joy that she brings to everyone, because I know how happy she makes me at home. So just sharing the joy.
Both Nova and I love coming here, enjoying interacting with the people, whether it's the staff or the families or the patients. It's just a good experience, like you're contributing something.
we're introducing a great new way to help you manage your property taxes. San Bernardino County is now accepting partial property tax payments because we know that paying in full all at once isn't always easy.
Hi, I'm Ensign Mason, your Auditor, Controller, Treasurer, Tax Collector. Let's talk about why this new option is a big deal. Partial payments can reduce financial stress and give you more control over how and when you pay. Used wisely, this can help you avoid missed deadlines, penalties, and interest. What we're here to talk about today is our partial payment system. Since I got here, people have asked about is why do I have to pay my property taxes in 2 installments? Can't we pay monthly? We pay everything else monthly. And Shay, tell them a little bit about what we're going to be doing.
Now you have an opportunity to pay partial payments on your secured taxes. With partial payments, you decide when and how much to pay, anytime, day or night. Whether you pay online or in person, it's flexible and easy. There are a few important things to keep in mind. Partial payments don't stop penalties or interest if you miss key deadlines. First installment is due November 1st with penalties after December 10th. Second installment is due February 1st with penalties after April 10th. And partial payments don't prevent your property from becoming eligible for tax sale if payments default. Let's move forward together.
This is Ensign Mason helping San Bernardino County taxpayers meet their obligations one payment at a time.
The Management and Leadership Academy is about an 8-month program that deals with leaders, future leaders, gives them an opportunity to expand their skills or to learn more about how to effectively manage and lead in their departments.
It was developed 20 years ago because we wanted to ensure that all of our leadership had the necessary tools to be able to not only service our employees internally, but also meet the needs of our community in an excellent manner.
MLA gives employees a comprehensive understanding of the county and its mission. It helps employees become better leaders to pour that out into the community.
When you're a participant, you come in and you're either in a supervisory level, you're in a managerial level or an executive level, and you are either partnered with a coach or a mentor, and they guide you throughout the process.
It's a great way to connect staff with leadership. It's a great way to network and meet new people. Every department, every employee within the county is doing something that contributes to the overall vision and goal of the county.
I work directly with all the branch managers in our county libraries. So my goal is to share what I've learned to them so they can be the effective leaders in the community so they can make an impact.
There's so much good that we do for the people of San Bernardino County, and for the leadership to understand that this is important to build our leaders, our future leaders, I just really think that it's a positive experience all around.
I was in the inaugural EDP program back in 2005, right after they reconfigured the program. The program helped me gain a lot of confidence in not just my current job, but where I wanted to go in the future.
Services offered are a reflection of the leadership in the organization. If we're preparing more effective leaders, inspiring leaders, we can have services offered in a way that helps the residents succeed and thrive in our county.
It's just a unique experience that you won't get anywhere else.
Good morning. I would like to call this meeting to order, and I would like to thank you all for joining us. And I would also like to acknowledge this morning we have our High Desert and Joshua Tree video conferencing sites. This morning, it is my honor to introduce Amanda Updergrove, who is a public servant and the co-founder of New Leaf Ministries. She was born in Korea and abandoned as an infant. She was adopted into the United States and faced significant hardship and loss early in life. By God's grace and the love of someone who stepped in at a critical moment, her life was redirected. She now uses her story to bring hope to others. New Life Ministries was launched in 2020 to provide practical help and lasting hope to children and families across the high desert. In 2025, New Leaf distributed more than 400,000 pounds of food through its food bank. New Leaf is renowned for providing household and hygiene items, food and clothing to foster care programs, veterans, and senior centers. Amanda believes the Lord restores what life has broken, and she is committed to leading others to repair, a return of hope after a season of despair. She serves as a council member for the City of Adelanto and a board member for the Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino County, as well as a commissioner for San Bernardino County's Behavioral Health Commission for the 1st District. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here today. It's an honor and a blessing. Good morning, everybody. Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to gather here in San Bernardino County. Father, we pray that your spirit rule in this county. It is no coincidence that it's the beginning of the year and this is the largest county in the nation. Father, I ask that you would just put your blessing upon this county and all of its leadership. May you continue to guide and direct its path. May you bestow your wisdom throughout all of the leaders in this region for the benefit of the entire region and the residents and the families and all who live within the San Bernardino County. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much for being here today. We will now move on to our memorial adjournments. Vice Chair Baca. Supervisor Cook. Supervisor Armendariz. Supervisor Hagman. All right, this morning we have 3 presentations. So if my colleagues would join me in the well. This morning, I would like to present a special resolution proclaiming the week of April 11 through 17 as the Week of the Young Child. This is an annual celebration sponsored by the National Association for the Education of Young Children to recognize the importance of early learning and honor the work of early childhood educators, families, and communities. Our preschool services department is committed to providing high-quality services to promote school readiness and healthy development. I would like to ask Arlene Molina, the Director of Preschool Services, to come down and join us for accepting this resolution. Thank you for all of the work that you do on behalf of our families throughout the county. We're going to put you right in the middle here. Okay. Do you want us to slide this way to center a little? Paul, you go, okay. Oh, wait, can I just ditch the readers? Thank you. Readers or the Raiders? Both. Thank you. Congratulations and thank you. Our next presentation is for Diana Mota. Are you, there you are. Would you like to come up and join us up here? I would like to present this special resolution to honor Diana Mota, who is retiring after 26 years of service for the county. Diana began her career as a public service employee for the courts administration and is retiring with the Assessor Recorder Clerk's Office. Thank you very much for all of your hard work and dedication to the county. Would you like to say a few words?
I didn't prepare anything, but I'll wing it.
Okay. I can hold it for you, yeah.
Yes, time does fly fast. I would like to just acknowledge that I am very thankful for the opportunity to actually serve my community all these years. And I would like to thank my family for their support, and also the county for teaching me so many things throughout the years. And that's all I have to say.
Would you like to bring them up for a photo?
Oh, yeah. My family.
Family,
So
please join us.
my husband and my 2 sons.
Thank you, thank you. I see you're back there. Judge Rogan, can I ask you to join us up here, please? Come on up. Our final presentation this morning is to honor Judge Lisa Rogan, who served as the presiding judge of San Bernardino County Superior Courts from January 2024 through December of 2025, and is the assistant presiding judge from January of 2022 through December of 2023. Judge Rogan was a law enforcement officer in Los Angeles, where she served her community for 14 years. She came to San Bernardino County as a supervising district attorney and later began her judicial career in 2013. As presiding judge, Judge Rogan was an incredible leader who passionately advocated on behalf of county courts as a whole. We thank you for your many years of leadership and look forward to continuing to work with you, and you did a fantastic job. It was an honor, so congratulations. I'm gonna you like to say a few words?
Yes. Thank you. I just want to say that being presiding judge was probably one of the biggest honors of my life. And one of the gifts of being presiding judge is that you get the opportunity to work alongside an amazing board of supervisors. There were countless appearances that I made where I ran into all of these members who support the community and do so much good work on behalf of the community. But I've got to tell you that Supervisor Chair Rao is a beast. She is an advocate. We went up to Sacramento and set up appointments on behalf of the court to provide for this community in ways that we have not provided before. And to have this board behind the court was just amazing. In addition to working with this board, I have always talked about the collaboration of our justice partners. And what you will see is representatives from the district attorney's office, the public defender's office, and mostly the sheriff's department, who work so well together in collaboration with the court to bring access to justice to this community. And it was just an honor to work on behalf of this community. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge my colleagues, some of the judges who are here on behalf of the court that have supported me in this role, the staff members who have worked countless hours to provide for the court. I thank you for all of the support that you have given me throughout my term. It was an amazing experience to represent the court, and thank you so much for this honor in being here today. I really, really do appreciate it. The time of my life for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Can we have her colleagues and staff join us up here for a photo, please? All right, we will now move on to our reports from County Council. Laura.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today, the Board of Supervisors voted 5-0 to appoint Joshua Dugas as the Acting Director of the Department of Behavioral Health. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. And our reports from our CEO, Luther.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I have nothing to report this morning. Thank you.
All right, that brings us to our individual board comments. Vice Chair Baca.
Yeah, I have two events to announce on. I want to thank the San Bernardino County Fire Department in conjunction with AutoZone in Bloomington. They'll be hosting a used oil and filter exchange. It's a great event from 9 to 2 at the AutoZone in Bloomington. It'll be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I want to thank County Fire for putting that together. That's on January 24th. And also, we'll be having a Cup of Joe event in the Muscogee community at 9 a.m. on January 29th. It'd be great to have the community come out and ask questions and give updates on what's going on in the Muscogee community. Also, just want to remind individuals that we have our point in time count. So if you're interested in volunteering for our homeless count, so we can continue to bring resources throughout our community. The great thing is over time, because of the resources we brought in, we've been able to reduce those numbers significantly in our county. But just go to sbchp.sbcounty.gov if you're interested. Also, just want to let the community know that we had a county seat roundtable in the city of San Bernardino with all the participant groups and government agencies that touch this county here in San Bernardino, and really try to do everything we can to try to improve the quality of life here in this city. And just want to thank the code enforcement for this past weekend. The Muscogee Dump Day was a successful event, and want to thank all those that came out to support. And then just in regards to committees, you know, with the San Bernardino International Airport, I serve on SABIA. I want to thank my colleagues who were able to allocate $100,000, which paid for a domestic terminal video display board, which is up and running now to really improve the quality of life at the airport and really try to improve the amenities there. And the airport authority was very, very grateful. And just want to congratulate Mr. William Jernigan. He's one of our commissioners reappointed to the Equal Opportunity Commission. He's a resident of Rialto, and just want to thank him for his service. And also, we're reappointing Kelvin Moore, who also serves on the West Valley Water District, but is also a commissioner. And then just want to highlight agenda items. Want to thank my colleague, Colonel Cook, for item number 5. You know, I serve on the LAFCO committee. One of the things we did was a review of the Barstow Cemetery, which had many financial challenges. And I just want to thank, you know, my colleague, Colonel Cook, for allocating $80,000. Thank you for doing that to really help the cemetery in the unincorporated area of Barstow. And it's personal for me because I have family that have been buried in that cemetery. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. Also, item number 7, this is nutritional, increasing the amount that we're going to provide for DOS, for senior nutritional services in the city of San Bernardino, to make sure our seniors continue to get fed during challenging times. Item 47, continue progress. I want to thank, you know, my colleague, Supervisor Hagman, for continuing to advocate to make sure that we got the $6.5 million from SCAG for our Bloomington Sewer Expansion Project. Also, item 66, I want to thank Public Works for the great work we're doing, the $376,000 we're investing at Ayala Park to add shade structures for the community. And then I want to thank Public Works for item 67, to continue to do infrastructure planning for sewer in the Bloomington community. And the last one, which is a big ticket item, been working on for about almost 4 years now, is the Rosina Ranch Fire Station, Sheriff's Substation. This is a major investment. I want to thank staff for their diligent work on it. I want to thank the partnership with the Sheriff's Department, who's also allocated money along with our county fire to really bring those services to the Rosina Ranch community, which they were promised several years ago. But it's good to see that this is going to break ground in February, and we're excited about the progress. And that concludes my reports, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Cook. All right, Supervisor Armendariz.
Thank you, Chair. A lot of things we were able to attend this last before the holidays. We were actually out at CES, where we want to take a moment to thank Derek and Ryan for going out there, and Luther for us going out and advocating for the county of San Bernardino. We were able to meet with businesses, different countries, and really just try to show them why we believe San Bernardino County is where they should invest their money. I want to take a moment to also thank Chairwoman Rao for your leadership and your involvement representing the board in our recent storm impact. It's my understanding that you went to Lighter Creek right after it happened, and to assess and to help facilitate and get our partners from the county out there. I just want to say thank you for being so diligent and acting so quickly as our chair to make sure we had the resources in those areas. Mount Baldy, we also suffered some impacts. My heart goes out to the families of the 3 young men who lost their lives out there. And it's tragic, but it's a reminder that it's very unsafe in that mountain during storms. And I thank our sheriff for trying to create a opportunity to do some sort of signage or alerts. We were able to close down the mountain for a couple of days. and warn people of the dangers of being on that mountain. But, 3 lives are lost, and we got to remember that next time we have another storm. It's just, it really is tragic. Also, we are able to donate through Public Works a Bobcat. That's a little tractor to the Fire Protection District in Mount Baldy, so that they could have resources during storms and things, so that they have more resources. We're continuing to look at how we could invest in giving more tools to that reserve operation from the fire department. Also upcoming, we have a partnership with my counterpart here, Supervisor Hagman. Next week on January 20th from 5:30 to 7:30, we will be having a Let's Taco About It, where we're inviting the public to come out, have a taco, and talk to us about issues that you see in our community, and just get to know and find out where you want to advocate. That will be at La Tapatia Mexican Grill in the city of Upland. You can look at our social media if you want to follow and attend. And then just 3 items that are through district discretionary funds. We're passing, hopefully, in this next consent. Canine Pals, we're going to give them $10,000 for our police canines, so they can have the training and that they need, so they can be at their best. We're also donating $20,000 to Etiwanda High School for their wrestling team. Wrestling and women's sports are a huge thing that are coming up, and they don't have the adequate equipment or areas so that they could actually change. Something as simple as a locker for this wrestling team is not even there, so we're going to be helping with that. And then our work with the DBH, Real Reality, we're going to be donating $20,000. That's in partnership with DBH, where we actually went out and had young people create videos for fentanyl campaigns to say no to fentanyl, and to educate our young people. We feel that it's the best way to educate them is to have them do it themselves. So we're going to continue to partner with DBH and create programs like this, so that our young people will understand the dangers. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Hagman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple items. Item number 35 increases the funding for the Chino Airport Light Vault upgrade project. And I just want to shout out to Department of Airports and our land use services and all the other departments of real estate to help continue to upgrade that Chino Airport and for the areas in 4th District. So thank you for that. Item number 28 improves the county and CEO goals, including the economic opportunities, improving operations, and operating in a fiscally responsible manner. When this item came up, it's just we know we have a great executive staff team. I just want to thank again Luther and all the team for keeping us on the right path. I'm very proud of the direction that the county is going under their leadership. Item 31 will waive some land use and disposal fees for residents impacted by December storms. And switching gears to IHP, we recently allocated $3.1 million to the county superintendent of schools to increase healthcare services in the schools across the county. And Ontario International Airport, I was just looking at this myself, welcomes TSA acceptance of digital IDs that can be downloaded to your smart device via the California DMV wallet. And so as a reminder, you need the California Real ID starting February 1st to get on the airplanes and travel, but now you can take it on your digital ID. We're currently seeking applications for Behavioral Health Commission. Please contact my office for further details. And we recently spoke to the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce holiday lunch to provide updates on the county. Then lastly, the Sheriff's Department has been awarded $1.41 million in grants for traffic enforcement programs to increase the safety on roads. And as Supervisor Armendariz mentioned, we're joining forces on January 20th. And so we're going to see who eats more tacos, really, right? I think he's going to beat me. That's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would just like to thank all of our county staff for participating in our Lytle Creek Community Center meeting that we had. Assessor Gonzalez, I see you out here. Thank you very much for coming up personally to that and your team. We asked a lot of everybody during the December 2025 storm. Of course, it always hits on a Christmas Eve, which is not what we would ideally want for any of our residents or our county family, but the response was tremendous. I appreciate the initial response and then into the recovery, all of the various departments that sacrificed an awful lot during that time. And then after, for our response, we had our local assistance centers, and they were very well received by our residents. Our nonprofit partners were able to attend and provide lots of services to our residents to help them recover from the storms. So thank you all for that. I would also like to highlight agenda item number 31 on today's consent calendar. This item will waive the land use services plan review and permit fees for up to $5,000 per property for residents whose properties were damaged by the extreme weather event that occurred in December. The plan review and permit fee process will be expedited to the fullest extent possible to help facilitate the repair of structures quickly. This item will also waive the solid waste management disposal fees up to 5 tons maximum per property for the same property owners who will need assistance in disposing of debris that resulted from the storm. So thank you for the creativity in trying to come up with ways that we can additionally help our residents. And with that, Lynna, do we have any changes or revisions to today's agenda?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Yes, I have one change for today's agenda for item number 3. Recommendation B is revised to read, specifically approve the reappointment of James Bagley pursuant to County Code Section 12.1603 to seat 7 on the Airports Commission for a 4-year term commencing February 1st, 2026 and expiring January 31st, 2030 as an at-large appointment. That's all the changes I have.
Thank you very much. It is now time for any board members to disclose any conflicts of interest that they may have on today's agenda. Seeing none, we will move on to our consent calendar, which today consists of items number 2 through 76. I have one request to speak this morning from Mr. Garth Pizant. And while he is making his way to the podium, do I have any members wishing to pull an item for discussion? All right. Good morning, Mr. Pizant.
Good morning, and I'm happy to be among the Honorable Board of Supervisors. Item 38, continue finding first made by the Board of Supervisors on September 23, 2025, that there is substantial evidence that immediate action is needed to prevent or mitigate the threat to animal life, animal health, property, and essential public services posed by the cessation of contracted animal shelter services in the high desert region effective September 1st, 2025, after the town of Apple Valley voted to cancel the existing animal services contract, which resulted in a reduction of essential shelter and animal care resources, and that this emergency will not permit the delay resulting from a formal competitive solicitation of bids to procure materials and construction services and delegating authority originally by resolution on September 23, 2025, to the Chief Executive Officer to direct the purchasing agent to issue purchase orders and or contracts in a total of amount not to exceed $4,436,154 for any construction, remediation, and modifications of internal and external structures related to the sudden and unexpected loss of use of the Apple Valley Animal Shelter, and find the issuance of these purchases, orders, and or contracts are necessary to respond to this emergency pursuant to Public Contract Code Section 22035 and 22050. 4 votes required. Presenter Don Day. It won't work. Animals were created before humankind was created. Animals knew how to survive before humankind came on the scene. The moment we domesticate animals, they no longer are able to fend for themselves. Item 59, approve the purchase and distribution of prepaid bus passes in an amount not to exceed $8,860 to provide support to eligible individuals released from the county detention facilities for the period of January 13, 2026 through June 30, 2026. Thank you. Item 60, receive an annual expenditure report for the Inmate Welfare Fund for 2024 to 2025. Presenter Carolina Mendoza. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is the last request to speak that I have. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Thank you, Supervisor Hagman, for the motion, and the second, Vice Chair Baca. All those in favor? Any opposed? And I would like to register that I am in favor of all, but I am opposed to number 76, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, the consent calendar passes unanimously with your noted no on number 76.
Thank you very much. Our discussion item this morning is item number 77, and it is a public hearing. So I will officially open the public hearing. It is the accessory dwelling unit and junior accessory dwelling unit regulations being presented this morning by Miguel Figueroa. Good morning, Miguel.
Good morning, Chair Rao, members of the board. Miguel Figueroa, Land Use Services Director here. By my side is Vince Acuna, Planning Manager. Before you, we have a presentation for development code amendments for accessory dwelling units. The proposal amendments to the development code consider modification provisions relevant to accessory dwelling units to comply with current state law for ADUs and junior ADUs. The incorporations of minor cleanup revisions in related tables and code sections to improve consistency, clarity, and formatting. The proposed changes will be made by consolidating 3 chapters of our current code: accessory structures and uses, allowed projections, parking and loading, into one proposed consolidated ADU chapter. This slide reflects a comparison of the current and proposed building height and minimum unit size standards for ADUs. If approved, the building height for attached ADUs will be 25 feet, for detached ADUs 18 feet, by right ADU 16 feet. For the minimum unit size for an ADU, 200 square feet, for a junior ADU, 150 square feet. The state required permit approval timeframes will now reflect as follows. For a standard plan application, a maximum of 75 calendar days. For a pre-approved plan application, a maximum of 45 calendar days. Notice of public hearing. A public hearing notice was published on January 3rd, 2026 in the San Bernardino Sun newspaper. No comments were received. For public draft, a draft ordinance was posted to Land Use Services website on November 9th, 2025. We received 1 comment requesting that the county consider the adoption of separate conveyance. At this time, this concludes the presentation. Staff and I are here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Armendariz.
Yeah, when you're looking at the building heights, it says here underlying zoning applies within the typical height limit of 35 feet. Why are the ADUs 25, 18, and 16? Is that what? Help me understand that part.
For the underlying zoning, the typical height before defaulted to our code, which is 35 feet. However, most ADUs that came into land use services, roughly it was about 16 to 20 feet. And for the attached ADUs, that's 25 feet is the height of a 2-story home. So typically the height limit for a 2-story home is 25 feet. So we just wanted it to be consistent with that height.
So the detached ADU is only 18 feet. So how does that make a 2-story home on a detached?
The detached ADU, the state law actually requires up to 18 feet, or the minimum height for a detached ADU is 18 feet. So we wanted to make it consistent with state law, which is 18 feet.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then knowing that we are in the county and there's no sewer available in those areas, have we looked at what other things we can do to, I mean, we talk about increasing housing, but when you have no sewer in place, there's no mechanism there other than like bubbler systems that cost $80,000 per unit. It doesn't make it cost effective to even build an ADU in the unincorporated areas. Are we doing anything to try to find ways to have a compromise of any sort?
I think that's something that we will get with the water department, and also I believe it's like environmental health, to find a way to do that, because you are correct. Right now there is this prohibitive cost of sewer, especially for properties that are currently not connected to the sewer system.
To add to that, Supervisor, I do want to mention that part of what we're trying to do with this item before you is educate our community. And part of that education entails exactly what you're asking for. and showing and offering options as to how that can be accomplished.
And are we currently working on, one last question, do we have pre-designed ADUs at the county yet that we're offering so that people can just pull them
Yes,
right off the
Supervisor,
shelf?
there are currently 3 options for pre-designed ADUs currently.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. That's all.
Any other questions? All right, we do not have any requests to speak, so I will close our public hearing.
Move
and
the
any-
item.
Thank you, Supervisor Hagman for the motion and Vice Chair for the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that, item number 77 passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. We will now move on to public comment on items not on today's agenda, and we will begin with our remote sites. Out in Joshua Tree, we have Ray Kennedy, and next up will be Karen Reich out in Hesperia. And as a reminder, everyone has 3 minutes to speak. The light will flash yellow when you have 30 seconds left and then red at the end of your time. Good morning, Mr. Kennedy.
My name is Ron Kennedy. I'm from Morongo Valley. During its previous meeting, the board approved through the consent calendar spending more than $20 million of third district priorities funds without the third district supervisor in attendance. That action raises a number of questions that the board needs to consider. Why was this action approved in the absence of the third district supervisor? What community partners did the county work with to come up with these funding proposals? It certainly wasn't with the Morongo Basin Municipal Advisory Council, which Supervisor Rao extinguished more than 2.5 years ago. But advising our supervisor on such projects is exactly what our MAC was intended to do. How did the third district-specific priorities program come to have more than $20 million available to spend at once? That would seem to be virtually all of the funds allocated for the third district since the program began in 2021. Why were district-specific priority program funds approved for actions such as road works on roads already in the county-maintained road system that should have been funded out of the public works budget? This ends up denying funding for many deserving community development projects that could have been supported with district-specific priority program funds. Why was this action to spend more than $30 million of our tax dollars placed on the consent calendar instead of the discussion calendar? The board and county staff are abusing the convenience of the consent calendar to act without public discussion on items that are, by their very nature, controversial, spending tens of millions of dollars without public discussion. This violates the spirit, if not the letter, of California law. The Brown Act says it is the intent of the law that board actions be taken openly and that their deliberations be conducted openly. The people of this state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people, in delegating authority, do not give their public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. The people insist on remaining informed so that they may retain control over the instruments they've created. Your own county vision statement would have us believe that you're committed to leading a model community governed in an open and ethical manner, but you're violating that vision at every turn. And you're violating the spirit, if not the letter of Brown Act, which was intended to protect the citizens of our state from being excluded from discussions of the people's business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next request to speak is from Karen Reich, and I believe she may be here in chambers and not out in Hesperia. Karen? Right. After Karen, we're going to go with Letitia Howard. Karen, you're here?
Here, thanks.
Okay.
Sorry. Today I want to, good morning, board. Today I want to shed light on an issue that often hides behind closed doors, the destructive reality of forced adoption through CPS services. CPS was created with the noble goal of protecting children from neglect and abuse, but too often it strays from that mission. Families who love their children find themselves torn apart, not because of violence or danger, but because of poverty, misunderstanding, or bureaucracy. Imagine being a parent who loses their child simply because they can't afford better housing or childcare. That's not protection, that's punishment. When children are taken from their homes unnecessarily, the emotional consequences are devastating. They lose their sense of safety, belonging, and identity. Many of these children grow up facing attachment issues, behavioral struggles, and deep trauma from being separated from the people who loved them most. Meanwhile, biological parents are often left helpless. Once CPS steps in, the system can feel impossible to fight. Court hearings are manipulated, evidence ignored, and reunification promises broken. In some tragic cases, children are adopted into families who truly don't understand them, and their voices are lost in the system forever. Forced adoption also disproportionately affects poor families and minorities. What could be solved with support and community resources is too often met with state intervention. Instead of helping families heal, the system ends up breaking them apart. We must ask ourselves, are we protecting children or are we protecting a process? The solution is not to dismantle CPS entirely, but to hold it accountable. We need transparency, reform, compassion at the heart of child welfare. Families in crisis need help, not handcuffs, support, not separation. Every child deserves safety, but safety should never come at the cost of love. Until we put family preservation at the center of our system, countless children will continue to suffer in silence. I'm begging you for help, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next request to speak that we have is Letitia Howard, followed by Garth Pizant.
Good morning. My name is Letitia Howard. I am here because San Bernardino County Children and Family Services has taken my children, not due to abuse or neglect, but because I advocated for legally required services for them and that advocacy has been punished. My children are disabled. They have documented needs under the ADA, IDEA, and Section 504. Before their removal, no reasonable efforts were provided as required by law. There were no in-home services, no crisis supports, no accommodations, nothing. Instead of helping my family, the county removed my children first and attempted to justify it later. The original allegation used to remove my children was proven false. Medical evidence confirmed there was no injury. Despite that, CFS continued the case, delayed hearings, withheld evidence, and added new allegations over time to keep my children in foster care. This is not child protection, this is damage control. Since removal, the county has consistently ruled that benefits CFS. Even when the record contradicts their claims, judicial oversight has failed, reports containing false statements have gone uncorrected, evidence favorable to reunification have been ignored. I have complied with every demand placed on me, yet reunification is being blocked, not because of risk, but because I filed complaints and demanded accountability. There are clear civil rights, clear civil rights violations in this case. 88 accommodations were not provided during interviews, visitation, or services. My children were questioned without communication supports required by their IEPs. Visitation has been obstructed. Services have been delayed or denied. These actions violate federally disability laws and parental rights under the Constitution. I am now facing the permanent loss of my children, not because I failed them, but because I spoke up for them. I have repeatedly contacted this board and the director of CFS. I have submitted documentation. I have asked for interventions, and I have been ignored. I am asking the board today, how many violations must occur before you act? How many families must be harmed while this department operates without accountability? I am not asking for favors. I'm demanding lawful oversight, immediate reviews of this case, and intervention before irreversible harm is done. If the board continues to remain silent, you are now neutral and you are complicit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Garth Pizant, followed by Sally Porter.
Thank you. Summons, family law, notice to respondent. You have been sued. We're giving you 30 days to fill out a form. But if you don't show without the form, If you show without the form, the court will rob you of your livelihood, your mate, and your offspring. Before and after you are robbed, you are ordered to seek advice from the very people who have murdered Jesus Christ. Whom are they? The Bar Association, formerly known as the Jewish Great Sanhedrin. The robbery will still be in effect until the court bar associate decides what else she will do with you. Anyone who possesses a weapon will be sworn in with the right to execute you and give your hard-earned family to whom the above association pleases. Criminal defense, California criminal law. During times of pre-plea, threatened to plea, I had to pee-pee. I told my attorney my rights first time at that, he told me, you can't do that. At once I found my presence was waived. Immediately my heart caved. And what excuse was it the court gave? During the attorney's motions, I was attending a rave. I tried to collaborate using code sections. All I received were hostile reflections. As a result of bringing up these codes, they stuck me in an 8x8 abode. I attempted to quote West and Deering. At that, I noticed that my attorney was jeering. I attempted to challenge their regulations. They recruited prosecutors from outside nations. When conviction and sentencing stood at all standards low, all I could plead was, all's a good, Negro. It is alleged that the LGBTQ has persuaded the Supreme Court in mixing the above with the HETERO. Does one mix bleach and battery acid with one's post toasties and cornflakes? I predict that in the near future, my sperm will biologically produce offspring possessing tusks, an intake manifold, fallopian tubes possessing AI, and an ozone layer.
Thank you very much, Sally Porter. And then we're going to go back out to Joshua Tree. We had one late arrival out there, so we'll go back to Joshua Tree with Eric Menendez after Sally Porter. Sally Porter?
Good morning. Members of the board, thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm here today as a parent whose child is still alive, but who has been forced to grieve them every single day. I am an alienated parent. I did everything the system asked of me. I completed the case plan. I complied. I showed up. I waited. I trusted the process. And after all of that, my family was not reunited. It was dismantled by the very department that was supposed to protect it. Excuse me. So I ask you plainly, who is accountable when the department ignores the laws and destroys a family anyway? The department claims they cannot force visitations, yet their actions, delays, and decisions, they force something far worse. The permanent erasure of a parent from a child's life. That is not neutrality. That is participation. Alienation does not happen overnight. It happens when oversight is absent. It happens when reunification is treated as optional. It happens when compliance no longer matters. And it happens when no one is watching. I want you to understand what it looks like in real life. It looks like birthdays spent staring at a phone that never rings. It looks like empty bedrooms that never get cleaned out because hope refuses to die. It looks like a child growing up believing silence means abandonment, when in reality, silence was enforced. And then there is this, a 9-year-old child being placed in a position of making lifelong decisions about whether they keep their parent. This is not empowerment, this is emotional abandonment by the system. Children cannot understand permanent loss. They cannot navigate adult conflict, and they should never be asked to carry weight of a decision that will echo for the rest of their lives. That responsibility belongs to adults and to the system. Case plans exist for a reason. The law exists for a reason. Reunification is not a suggestion. It is the mandate. When a parent completes the plan and still loses their child, that is not discretion. That is a failure with no accountability. As an alienated parent, I live with grief that has no funeral, no closure, no end date. My child did not lose a parent because I gave up. They lost one because the system did. I'm asking this board to step up where the department has not. Demand real oversight, enforce the law, stop allowing children to be collateral damage. Stop letting families be destroyed in silence. Because if this can happen after full compliance, then no parent is safe and no child is truly protected. Please do not let this continue unchecked. Please do not let the silence become policy. Please remember families are not expendable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Eric Menendez, who will be followed by Andrea with no last name provided.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Rao. We missed you last meeting. I just wanted to say to come here to speak on behalf of the support of, and thank you for the item that came on the agenda for the funding coming for sometimes around here. I know we met back in August. I can't believe it's a year, almost a year and a half ago. And we had that conversation about Joshua Tree. And the one thing we agreed on was it's not our place to tell Joshua Tree what they could be, within their area, but we also have 29 Palms in Yucca Valley. I appreciate that you have allocated some resources here, but I do hope that you can spend some time to work with the residents of Joshua Tree to help give them the support they need to do what they need to do. I also wanted to acknowledge Marjorie Smith from VOAD. I threw an event called Listos, California. I've been working with the Governor's Office of California Emergency Services. They've given us some equipment great little item bags, first aid kits, battery powered radios. And we're going to be doing another one in 29 Palms and Yucca Valley, probably at the Rite Aid. So, because we're going to try to call awareness to the fact that we need more resources out here. I also wanted to acknowledge last week's speaker, I can't remember, Mr. Carlo. I think he had a lot of good things to say, and I certainly hope we take a look at what's going on with funding for social service programs, family service programs, as well as the issue that's going on with the funding of the company that funds the low-income housing that's in jeopardy. I think it's called, I can't remember, but it's in San Bernardino. I think it's very important. We got to make sure those people don't end up out on the street. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing in late here and I'm not as prepared as I wanted to be, but I'll try to attend next meeting. Hopefully we can continue the dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have Andrea, who will be followed by Joseph Napolitano.
Good morning. Am I free to
You're
speak?
ready.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Great.
you.
My name's Andrea Myers. I'm a San Bernardino County resident and taxpayer, mother of 4. I'm also a registered nurse. I'm here also with several other people speaking here on behalf of the violations of the San Bernardino County Department of Children and Family Services and their disregard for constitutional rights, violating court orders, subjecting children to harm while they're in state custody, all while claiming to protect them. Last May, a social worker demanded entry to my home without a warrant, court order, or exigent circumstances. I respectfully declined and cited my Fourth Amendment rights. 18 days later, my children were removed. Since then, the department has refused to meet with me if my attorney is present, violating my Sixth Amendment right to counsel, failed to provide court-ordered discovery since July, and taken away my 9-year-old's cell phone because she talks to her mom too much. In August, the Department of DCFS was ordered to complete a visitation assessment. It's January. It has yet to be done. This is a direct violation of the court order. The court also ordered that I be allowed to provide breast milk for my infant son. DCFS and County Council have called my breast milk a substitute and requested that the order be removed. They are denying my baby his mother's breast milk in violation of a court order and his rights, my infant's rights. The department has repeatedly violated discovery rules, missed deadlines, and ignored the court's directives. My children were removed supposedly for their protection, but in DCF custody, 2 of my daughters have been physically struck by 2 different caregivers. 2 of them have been given a known medication that they're allergic to, requiring medical treatment. My 9-year-old is losing weight to the point that her cheeks are sunken because she's being fed 4 chicken nuggets a day, and the side is ketchup. My infant son, again, being denied his breast milk despite established medical science showing that it's optimal for his health. They're in a less safe situation than they were with me. I left my abusive partner in May of 2024, before my children were removed. They are using my restraining order application as evidence of harm to my children, the same order that I was required to get to protect my children they're using against me. Even though the danger has been eliminated, I participated in the prosecution.
That's time.
Thank you very much. Joseph Napolitano, followed by Sandra with no last name.
Good morning. The greatest nation in the world, which is where we live, it has a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm glad what's happening in Minnesota, and they're going to uncover a lot of stuff in New York, and now what I understand, they're coming to California where there's supposed to be even more problems. So that's just a little something to think about, but I'm here partially too for the big project, the Barstow International Gateway, which a lot of people don't even know about, and I didn't know until our last meeting in American Legion. I happened to be the chaplain, and I heard the vice commander talking about it, and I'm going, wow, nobody knew anything about it. And the residents of Silver Lakes didn't know, and it's going to affect them because the trains are supposed to be 2 or 3 times the load now. And emergency vehicles are going to have a problem getting over the railroad track back on Route 66. So what they need there is an overpass somewhere around there, which Dakota Higgins said it could run $40 million. Now, I think it's worth it, but you could ask Warren Buffett to write a check and then pay him off later or something, but you can't leave the people, emergency vehicles, stranded and waiting for trains to go by. It already happens to a certain degree. And so that's partially why I'm here, because a lot of people couldn't be here, so I decided to come. I live in Victorville now, my wife and I. And some of the problems they have were sound walls. They need sound walls. They're wondering about the septic systems, the sewer systems, around 5,000 trucks in and out of there. And we need the overpasses, and so that people in Silver Lakes, including the fire and emergency vehicles, can sometimes they get held up now. And I just have a little note here to myself: defunding the police is not the answer, and sanctuary cities is not the answer. That's got to change. The shipping containers, I don't know how many there are. There could be hundreds or thousands. The governor has said they got to clean up the ports all of a sudden. So why is that? I don't know. So they got to move all those containers out to Barstow, and they already have. BNSF has already bought 5,000 acres there, and they're going to be starting construction for it. I don't know all these facts, but I'm sure you folks could make a few phone calls or talk to somebody, find out more. But it's something worth looking at, because if they start looking at California, they're going to uncover a lot of stuff. And
That's time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service. Sandra, followed by Tanisha Gooden.
Hello, my name is Sandra Clark. Good morning, my name is Sandra Clark. I stand stand before you today as not just a citizen, but I am a mother of Harlem Wade, who is only just 7 months old. I am here because I am currently facing false allegations that have put my relationship with my baby and my sense of safety at risk. I have attended hearings. I have gathered paperwork. I have tried to follow every rule and procedure that has been placed in front of me. I have nothing to hide, and I'm welcome to the truth and to come forward. I am also here to say that I am afraid. I am fearful of retaliation for speaking up. I am fearful because of when a parent is accused, especially unfairly, and system can feel overwhelming and unbalanced. I am fearful because I am seeing how quickly assumptions can become decisions and how those decisions can affect the child's future. I also want to share that I am a victim of domestic violence. Surviving that alone has taken strength, but continuing to fight through the current situations have pushed me through my limits. As a mother of a 7-month-old, my priority has always been to protect, love, and care for my child. I was breastfeeding my baby, but due to the situations I am now in, I am no longer able to do that. Losing that bond has been painful and heartbreaking for me and for my son. On top of that, I have my own history in foster care system. I was in the foster care system as a child, and I was witness to my mother's rights being wrongfully terminated. Growing up with that trauma is something I carry on to this day. It makes the situation even more devastating, and never wanted my child to experience the pain and separation that I did. I have tried to do everything that has been asked of me, yet I feel unheard. I feel like my voice is being treated less important than paperwork, less important than the procedure, and also less important than the truth. I am asking of the board to recognize the parents like me exist in this county, parents who are fighting to defend for their names, their rights, and their children. I am not asking for protection from my retaliation when I advocate for myself and for my child. I am asking for accountability for investigations to be based on facts and not assumptions. Every child deserves that chance to grow up connected to their family when it is safe to do so. Every parent deserves the right to defend themselves without a fear. I am standing here today because I refuse to give my baby up, and I refuse to be silent.
That's time.
Thank you very much. Tanisha Gooden, followed by Carlo.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Tanisha Gooden, and I wanted to speak on how CPS sits up there and blames the domestic violence females and takes their children away off of false accusations and keeps them from their child for months on, and without any warrants, without any real facts, just false accusations. My daughter hasn't seen her baby since December 4th, and the child got taken from the father, and the father sat up there and made false accusations, and now her child is in the system still till this day. And all they keep doing is just keep setting court dates after court dates, not allowing the mother to see her child. We done called supervisors, we done called social workers, we done waited for people to call us back for a plan, and there's nothing. There's nothing. How can you guys take these children away from their mothers, especially a domestic violence female? This is why ladies don't speak up today on domestic violence, because you guys accuse them and take their children away, and that's not right. That's not right at all. Please, somebody stop this. Stop it. Stop letting these females go without their children. My daughter hasn't seen her 7-month-old son since December 4th.
And she still has another court date to go to on February 23rd. We just left court. And they're blaming her for walking away, for reporting it, for getting a restraining order. But you guys are still keeping her child away from her. How? And you guys are supposed to protect these children. You guys are not protecting them. Please, somebody step in front of.
Thank you. Our last request to speak is Carlo.
Good morning. Not too long ago, the Ninth Circuit had a hearing that was aired on YouTube that I found. The CPS attorney is claiming that CPS has the right to pretty much conduct themselves in a very unethical way by committing perjury to remove kids.
As they're pleaded in the light most favorable. So, we're not trying the case. But how can a person in the shoes of your clients possibly believe that it was appropriate to use perjury and false evidence in order to impair somebody's liberty interest in the continued care, custody, and control of that person's children? How could they possibly not be on notice that you can't do that?
I understand the...
How could that possibly be?
I understand the argument that it seems to be common sense and our ethical...
It's more than common sense. It's statutes that prohibit perjury and submission.
They're not saying that they didn't do it. They're admitting to it. The record here at CFS is that they do it all the time. I just went, before I come here to the Board of Supervisors meeting, I make my pilgrimage to the court. And I hear the stories over and over. I ask, when did you get your filings? Just today, another gentleman told me. False allegations within Child Protective Services destroy families, yet the standard required to remove a child, shockingly, check this one out. The standard to remove a child is a lot lower than it is to repossess your car. I'll say that again. The standard to remove a child from a home is a lot lower than repossession of your car. To repossess a vehicle, the lender must prove default, provide notice, and follow strict procedural safeguards. There's nothing like that at CFS court. I experienced it myself. When CPS removes a child, the most fundamental human relationship, a parent and a child, those protections are often missing because of these false allegations. Late filings. How can you go ahead and defend yourself when you barely got the paperwork the day of the hearing? I, as a veteran, and I'm sorry I'm getting a little loud on this, but myself as a veteran, surviving a rocket attack in Africa, came home. My paperwork was delivered to me after the hearing. When I had solid evidence of a mother who grew up the child, sprayed the kids in the face with oven cleaner, and then just recently body slammed my child for having a Bible on her, received full custody. But I don't want to mention her race. She's white and she got a lot of money. I don't know. What's the difference between these families behind me that just spoke before me? These are serious allegations, and this is crushing the souls of these families. I got to finish up with God is watching. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is the last request to speak that we have. Our meeting is adjourned. The next regularly scheduled Board of Supervisors meeting will be here on January 27th at 10 a.m. Thank you.